Okay, let's start off by talking about the good things that happened this week. First of all, and this is important because I took a week off of exercise workouts, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The good things that happened this week specifically were I passed my 50 pounds down mark. So I am now at 355, I think a half pounds, but it's under 357, which would be my 50 pound mark. That means I'm roughly about 50% of the way there. I changed my goal to 300 from 307, so it's not quite. But it's that 50 pound mark is huge, and I'm happy. I also realized, in all reality, I have to buy new clothes. I went and bought, this is so silly, I went and bought new underwear in a regular department store, a very common one. I didn't go to the big and tall. I get it out of the package, I look at it, and I said, wow, that's too small. I hear women say this all the time when they go shopping for new clothes after they lost weight, and I'm like, oh, really? You know how big you are now. You should just being silly. Nope, I get it now. I really do. I slipped those underwear on, they fit, and I was like, wow. Wow, now that you know all about my underwear, let's talk about the stuff that maybe isn't quite as personal. I went out and bought some new shirts, a size down. I was wearing 4XLs, and once in a while a generous cut 3XL shirt. The 3XLs fit great, all of them. Some, even the ones that are tighter, looser, all the 3XLs are good. A couple of the brands I could probably go down into 2XL, which is, it would be a little tight, maybe a little uncomfortable for work, but it would probably look okay. I'm excited about that because it's like I have an Izod shirt. I don't really care about name brands per se, but what it means if I can buy an Izod shirt is I can buy normal people clothes. Huge deal. I'm happy about that. All right, so this week, like I was saying, I took a week off of workouts. I still walked for work. I didn't avoid the stairs or anything like that, but I had some pains. I had my left foot was hurting. My right lower back was kind of stressed. My left hand was hurting a little bit. I had a shoulder that was a little questionable. All muscle and joint pain. It wasn't anything severe, but it was all little nagging hurts. And I had the end of the quarter for the 7 credit hours I took was here. So I took the first couple of days of this week and I finished up my coursework. It was all distance learning, but I finished it all up, got it all submitted. The last I checked, I don't have the confirmation, but I think I have 2 A's and a B. It might be 3 A's. I don't know. But I took this week off, I did that, and I took the week off to heal. And then I sat and I had a lot of time, well, not a lot of time, but I had some time in general where I just didn't have schoolwork, I didn't have workouts. I made sure my calories were right where they needed to be for a week with no workouts. I wasn't going to screw that up. And so I hit the weight goals, and still, like now I feel great. I'm ready to start working out tomorrow. But I got to think about healing. I got to think about the physical healing my body's doing and how I didn't even realize how many little aches and pains I had because I was so busy. I was just trying to get that workout in, and I wasn't really paying attention to some of the indicators I maybe should have. So I took the week off. Good, we win. But then I also thought about how many mental or psychological or emotional injuries we have, and we all have them. If you've been alive more than about 10 minutes, you've probably been hurt by somebody. And that's an exaggeration, of course, but if you get through grade school, I don't know anyone that hasn't had their feelings hurt. They haven't been picked on or in a fight or something by people. And do we take time to heal from those? Do we do the things we need to do to heal from those? I think a lot of us don't. We try to push them away and just leave them, and they can become festering wounds. And so I challenge you to look at that and try to find the things that you need to heal yourself, whatever they are, and realize that people that we have loved for years, we may not be able to deal with on a day-to-day basis anymore. Now, obviously, if you have a job and you can't just go get another job, which is the case for most people, if you're surrounded by toxic people, you have to find a coping mechanism, and you have to find a way to deal with it so it doesn't ruin your life. For a while, when I had one of those jobs, I learned that I had to wear a safety helmet when I was in that job. I was driving a forklift. And so when I would leave, I would wear that helmet all the way out to my car. And as soon as I got to my car, I would sit down in the car with the helmet on, which was difficult because I'm tall. And then I would take that hat off, and I would set it down. And I'd set it down in the back seat. And when you set that helmet down, that was my switch. I'm no longer around those people. I'm no longer that guy at work. I still do that today. When I get out of my car, I don't wear a hat. But when I get out of my car in the mornings, I have an ID badge I have to wear all day. I put the ID badge on. Once I have that ID badge on, I am the work John. I meet all the requirements there, and when I deal with someone who may be having a bad day, which I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, I let it roll off me. Why? Because that is work John. That's not the real me. Not 100%. It's mostly me. But I don't get emotionally involved in a lot of things at work because I can't invest that there. I have to invest my emotional efforts in my personal life, not in my work life. Now, my professional investments are definitely there, and let's face it, if I fail at something or I don't get promotion or I don't achieve something at work I want to achieve, of course it hurts. It feels like a failure and it affects me emotionally. But I'm not vested in. I don't invest a lot on my personal love or see, that's the wrong word too. I wish we had about 7 different words for love, don't you? Because there's all different kinds. When I see somebody at work who's hurting, because I work in a hospital, I do invest emotionally. I invest in that person. That's not work. My work encourages us to be invested in the people that we serve as a hospital, and that's great. My job is to work with machines. Love that because no matter what parts I pull out of them, they don't complain. They just don't work. But people, I've noticed in the hospital who are there, who are sick, who are waiting on sick ones, most of what they need is they just need a person to listen to or talk to it, and so I do invest that way. Now, but I remember that work is not life. It's what I do to pay my bills so that I can do all these other things. And sometimes that's hard for us because we spend so much time at work. Now, all that out of the way, the point is you got to make sure you heal when you're hurt. If I get hurt at work, like there was a day I saw a poor, sweet little girl. She couldn't have been more than 5 years old and probably younger. She was going to see her daddy who was sick with her mom, and I'm going to get a little emotional. But the little girl was with her mom, and we got on the elevator. She got on the elevator with us, her mom and her, and she came over and she stood next to me and she just took my hand. And she held my hand. And her mom says, "Honey, you don't even know this guy." And she looks up at me and she says, "He's one of the good guys, Mom." So I talk to her and I find out that her name is Claire, and I tell her that's a lovely name, and she tells me that John is a good, strong name, and that she's going to go see her sick daddy. It broke my heart. If you can't tell, it broke my heart to see this little girl, and that really hurt me. And I had to take some time. Even now, it's like, oh, I'm still choked up. You got to take some time to heal from that stuff because it'll wear you out. It'll take all your super juice. It'll take all your power. And so you need a minute to recover from that stuff. There are no notes this week, so I probably ran a little long. I need to get out of this because, yeah, it's a little heavy for me. But I promise to be honest and open. That's what I'm trying to do. And I just want to say take time to heal yourself. I want to tell you there's no notes this week because I didn't take any. I really just kind of took the week off, except for counting calories. So mad love out to all you people. Remember, there's someone out there who loves you all. If you're watching this, I love you. Not in the we need to have a romantic liaison way, but I do love you. Why? Because you're a human being and you should be loved. That's it. That's all I got, folks. Mad love. I'll talk to you next week, and hopefully next week I will get to go to one of the restaurants that I have want to preview for the Natalie Portman date. Take care. Make a great week.